Sure.
And I was listening to it today in preparation for this episode. And I literally 3 times got physical goosebumps 3 times in one song. Hello and welcome to another episode of Music and Words Unite. I am your co-host Troy, and with me I have my friend and co-host Mark. How you doing, Mark?
Good evening.
All right. All right. I always look forward, Mark, to what your surprise is going to be every episode, just so you know. Anyway,
I have to keep you on your toes.
Yeah, thank you. And today, Mark and I are going to be recording an episode about this lovely, put to show you here. Okay, this lovely box set, which is 25 years retrospective on Deadmau5's career. All right, that's what we're doing. And Mark, I don't believe has the box set, but I made a Spotify playlist, which is almost all the songs from that box set. And then I sent him the ones that aren't on Spotify to check out. So Mark, how familiar are you with the music in this playlist? Just curious, before coming into this episode.
The extent of like Deadmau5 that I'm familiar with is like that I used to play this game called Dota 2, and they had an announcer pack or like a music pack, and that was like the extent of like what I know by him. Okay. I know he was like a like EDM house musician, but I don't really know any of his stuff. So.
Gotcha. Well, Mark, I'm basically the exact opposite. Back in the mid 2000s, I was DJing like all the time, and house music, electro music, all kinds of stuff. And I heard Deadmau5's remix. I forget the exact song. I'll find it later. I'll put it in the comments or something. But before his first album came out, basically, he was doing remixes and tracks and stuff like that. And I had heard that on Beatport back in the day, if anybody remembers using that. I don't even know if it's still a thing. Probably is. But anyway, Beatport is where you could buy tracks to DJ with, like digitally and stuff. So I was using that back then, and I found this Deadmau5 track, and I was like, oh my God, this is like such a cool remix. And I just started following everything he did. And he had like his own kind of signature sound that he created over the years. And his early music, like first 4 or 5 years, I was like obsessed with that stuff. I used to go see him live. In fact, Mark, I saw his first ever U.S. tour, and one of his first U.S. shows, actually, I saw. And so, yeah, I have a kind of a long history with Deadmau5 as far as listen to him, and we're not going to talk about in this episode, maybe a future episode, Mark, but he has a side project back in the day called BSOD. And it was with a guy named Steve Duda, who worked on The Fragile with Trent Reznor, doing some of the instrumental programming on that. And he also makes like audio plugins and stuff like that. Steve Duda's a cool guy. And so he had this like duo project, which was Deadmau5 and this guy Steve Duda. And some of that music is some of the coolest stuff. So that could be another episode in the future. So you might like that, actually. So Mark, that's a little bit about my history of Deadmau5, and we're going to get right into it. So the way what Mark and I are going to do is there's 20-ish songs on this box set. It's around 20. And what we decided to do is, instead of playing and reviewing every single song, we're just going to break down our top 10 for you, right? So we figure we give you our top 10. You kind of know what to go check out if you've never heard this stuff before. And if you have heard it, maybe you find it interesting what we think is top 10. Someone that's like an old school Deadmau5 head and someone that's pretty new to Deadmau5. So that's where we're at, Mark. And I'm going to let you go first, sir. And so give me your number 10.
I have Monophobia.
Okay. I'm going to play a clip from that. Any part of it you want me to play?
No.
Okay.
Inside my head there's a little place left for you. What do you know? What do you know? And all I want is to find out what you're going through. What do I know? Maybe the silence is dangerous.
Well, that's a little bit of a clip, and as you know, house music, if you're familiar with house music, the music builds and builds and builds as the songs go. So just the intro doesn't really fully represent it. But yeah, Mark. So tell me why this was your number 10. Why was this in your top 10 first, and then anything you want to say about it?
I just really like the beat and the music. I'm not like super big on the vocals per se. I don't
Okay.
know.
Okay.
A lot of times, unless it's like Eurodance or something, I'm not really. I'd prefer to listen to like
Yeah.
electronic music that doesn't really have, or like even like Daft Punk, that kind of stuff. But like mostly when I listen to electronic music, I like it without vocals. But this was a nice track though. Uh, Nothing like crazy to say. It's just I liked it.
This track was not in my top 10. In fact, it was. So, spoiler, if it is in our top 10, we're just going to say it, but we're not going to say where in our top 10 it is. So, this was not in my top 10, Mark. And it was a track I had never heard before listening to this box set. So, you and I are in a similar space on this particular track. I thought it was a cool track. I did like it, but it didn't crack my top 10, but I thought it was pretty cool. There is a theme, Mark, that I have similar to you, I think. There's a few tracks on here that are in my top 10 that have vocals, that if they didn't have vocals, they even be higher up in the tier list. So that's how I feel about it, because I think Deadmau5's instrumentals are so good that a lot of times I don't even need the vocals.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Mark. My number 10 is Oral Synapse. And I'm
I
gonna
have
play
that.
it. Okay. All right. Don't tell me where, but all right. Let me play a little clip from it. Let me play it a bit close. Let's skip a little bit. Anyway, Mark, there's a cool little synth part that comes in right here. I'm going to play it. Yeah, and this is pretty much the main theme of the song. Yeah. This is just a cool electro song, nice melody, right? Nice kind of synths, nice pads. Great groove, right? Especially on the dance floor. This came out when I was DJing a lot, and I remember playing this song, multiple times actually. It was a cool song. So, yeah, Mark, that's my number 10. Why don't we go back and forth like 10, 9, and so I'll go next. Is what I'm saying. Then you go. All right, we'll just switch that way. The next one I had, Mark, is actually not on Spotify, but what I'm going to do is I'll post a clip, and in post I'll put a clip in of it, which is The Reward is Cheese. I don't know if that was in your top 10 or not, but that's in my top 10.
No, it's not actually.
Okay. And I'll just talk about why. So Reward is Cheese, like for me, when that track first came out, that was like I used to play that track all the time. That track is so, to me, like funky, groovy for this style of music. And it's just a banger for me. I really like Reward is Cheese. So anyway, that's my number 9. What about your number 9, Mark?
My number 9 is Ghosts and Stuff.
Ah, okay, all right. It's a pretty famous one, actually. I'm gonna play a clip
Is it?
on it. Yeah, it's one of his biggest songs. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know that.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Wow. Might be his biggest song actually. I had no idea.
Anyway, Mark, that was Ghosts and Stuff. So tell me, why was that your number 9? Why was that in your top 10?
Just had a nice sound to it. I like the electro sound. I like I guess it's like an organ, like a
Yeah,
electronic organ. I like the vocals were good too in this one. They kind of didn't like get in the way or anything.
yeah. The vocals are pretty good on this one. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good, and I really didn't know that it was one of his most popular songs either. That's how little I
Yeah.
know about Deadmau5.
That's
So
why this episode is perfect, because you have like a longtime fan, somebody who's hardly know, you're getting the like review of the same songs. It's kind of funny, but
right, yeah,
this is in my top 10, but not yet. Okay, so yeah, Mark. For me, this is a great track. I mean, even if it didn't, I think, to be honest with you, the vocals are cool. The chorus melody is pretty cool of this one. Actually, the whole melody is pretty cool for this one. But if it was just an instrumental, I might even like it more. I'm just going to be honest with you. I really like his
yeah.
instrumental stuff. So, but the vocals are cool in this one. It doesn't like bother me really. So yeah, Mark. So cool. What is your number 8, Mark?
My number 8 is Our Guru 2K19.
All right, good one, Mark. Good one. A little history about this one before I play it. Sometimes I would start off my DJ sets with this song. So this would want to be
Okay.
one of my openers. Yeah.
I knew you DJ'd, but I didn't know that you DJ'd.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah. I feel like every time I play these songs, I should just play it from the middle, because like the songs don't really get really good to the middle, but as far as the main melody goes, here we go. Anyway, Mark, that's a clip from Our Guru. This one has a lot of memories for me, actually. Just personal memories, this song. So,
I'm guessing it was probably higher up for you then.
yeah. It was higher up.
The song reminds me a lot of like the early to mid 2000s like electronic musicians like Bass Hunter and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it was I guess it was kind of like a nostalgia thing with this one, but the song was good though. Has a
Yes.
nice melody, beats good. Yeah.
Cool. All right. I am going to tell you, that was your number 8, right? That was your number 8.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So my number 8, Mark, is Complications. So I'm going to play a clip from that one. Okay. Let's see. There we go. This is one I used to play a lot too, this one. I love this part. And as it builds, it like starts to do all these really cool effect things in the pan, like if you're using headphones or whatever. Yeah, it's really cool. Anyway, Mark, there's an alternate version of this track which I actually like more, called Secondary Complications. It's not a straight groove. It's kind of a really cool messed up groove, but with this thing bop 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 bop, and it's just crazy. I used to play that one more. But anyway, it's not part of this box set, so I'm not including it. All right, Mark, that was my number 8. My number 7 is Sophie Needs a Ladder. Okay.
I don't have that one either.
Okay, all right. Maybe there wasn't much overlap as I thought it was going to be. That's fine.
Yeah.
This is Sophie Needs a Ladder. This track, Mark, was a dance floor like destroyer when it came out. It was really cool back then.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Now, Mark, this track is one, in my opinion, and if you're watching this, Sophie, I'm sorry, but I much prefer the instrumental track, actually. Not that you would be watching this, but when this track first came out, Mark, it was called You Need a Ladder, and there was no vocals to it. And that instrumental was like, just stayed on my playlist like all the time. And when they put vocals to it, I was like, oh, it's cool. And I think it, for like the clubs and for the big events that he used to play, people like hearing the vocals sometimes, you know what I mean? They like hearing that kind of stuff. And I think it probably fit in more. But like, I'm going to play like just a clip of the chorus real quick. So like this part. It was just the instrumental, you know. This instrumental is so freaking good, man. You could just jam to it. Like, it's a good one. So anyway, Mark, that was my number 7, right?
Yeah.
Why don't you give me your number 7?
My number 7 is... Oh, it's actually Aural Synapse.
Ah, okay. This is on my list as well. All right.
Yep.
So,
so you want me to skip to my 6?
Number 6, yep.
Strobe.
Strobe. All right, this is also on my list. I am. You know what I'm gonna do, Mark? I'm gonna save it for when I talk about it. Okay, just the clip, just the audio clip, because I don't want to play the same audio clip twice. You know what I mean? But this one is a little special to me, so I want to.
Do you want me to say 5 then, or?
You did 6. Okay, we'll come back to Strobe. Don't worry. If you're listening out there, my number 6 is Ghosts and Stuff. So we already talked about that. My number 5 is Our Guru, which we already talked about that. What's your number 5, Mark?
My number 5 is Brazil.
Ah, okay. Clazic.
Clazic.
So if I can find that part, it was very quick.
I was grooving out to this song pretty bad.
Okay, this part, yeah. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a really good one. Good choice, Mark. Good choice.
I like this one. Honestly, on subsequent listens, this one would probably move up higher for me.
Okay.
I just like it's like really like symphonic, and it's not like harsh or anything, and it's just you can kind of just kind of sit there and just groove to it, you know. I like that. A lot of times with like Aphex Twin and like IDM, like even like Boards of Canada, sometimes it's a little harsh, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
But this is like, you know, this is much more symphonic, so I can appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Mark. This is one from his first album, which is to me a really great, like front to back. I have that on vinyl. You could just listen to the whole thing straight through. There's a mixed version of that album and an unmixed version. A mixed version that he mixed of all the songs, pretty much. That's really good. You just put that on front to back, and like Brazil is on there, and Slip, and I Remember.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good. All right, Mark. What number was that? I can't remember.
5.
5. What's your number 4, Mark?
My number 4 is I Remember.
Same for me. Look at that.
Same number too?
Yes, 4. Yep.
Holy heck.
All right, so I'm gonna play this for you.
I actually like the vocals a lot on this track.
Yes, one of the best ones.
I wouldn't get rid of them. Yeah.
Yeah, Mario, this is a good one. This brings back a lot of memories too. This is one of his first like kind of breakthrough songs, you know, with the vocals and everything. So yeah, tell me about why you like this one.
Just everything really. Just nice, like good sounding track. Just a nice straightforward electro track with good vocals, and it's also 9 minutes long, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You know me, like length equates to good. So
There you go. There you go. Yeah, Mark, this is 9 minutes. And honestly, when you're listening to it, for me, it doesn't feel like it. It's just,
no, definitely not.
yeah, you just vibe to it. It's a great, just jam out vibe to something for 9 minutes. It's a great one to put on. So, should I go next?
I forget like our order here.
Sure, because it was supposed to be my number 4, which is I Remember. So I'll go next for number 3, which is Cthulhu Sleeps.
I don't have that on my list actually.
Okay. So,
If it was title names, like song title names, it would be number 1. But
so remember, Mark, I think I texted you the other day. I was listening to this and I was like, listen to this Deadmau5 thing and my brain is exploding right now. Whatever I said, right? It was this song I was listening to.
Okay.
With the headphones on, the vinyl, like loud. It was crazy. I got to find a clip of like in the middle of it, but because it gets nuts in the middle. Like,
this would have been like this is like number 11 for me, basically.
Okay.
Just missed the top 10.
When he used to play this live, Mark, he used to have these like tentacles. And like these huge green tentacles like a monster, and they would, as the music sped up, it would go with the music. It was nuts back then. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah. This song is like a real journey. Like from front to back, it just like builds and then it gets absolutely crazy like in the middle of it. To play the tentacle part. Let me see. Get to that part when he used to do it live. Is it this part?
Okay.
This part. Wait, where is it? Somewhere around here. Maybe it's the beginning. This part. Yeah. This is it. it fades into this beautiful melody underneath, dark like melody. Oh man, I remember seeing this live. I used to go see him live, and with the big Cthulhu in the background going nuts with the music. It was so cool. Anyway, Mark, this is a highlight for me. The next, it's on you, Mark. What was your number 3?
Board of Canada.
Oh, wow. Okay. I don't have that one in the list, but I'll put it in post-edit.
You could probably guess why I have that on mine.
Why don't you tell the audience, Mark? Why do you just for number 3? Yeah.
One of my favorite electronic bands, if you want to call them that, is Boards of Canada, and this is like a tribute, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that he was a fan, so that's, obviously I like him more now. So,
he's from Canada,
yeah,
by the way.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
well, Boards of Canada is from Scotland. So
Oh, okay.
it's a bit confusing. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, it's just like his I guess his homage to IDM, I guess. I just thought it was a cool track too. I enjoyed it.
All right. Cool. All right. Yeah. Mark. So that was your number 3, right? What was your number 2?
The Velt.
All right. Guess what, Mark? That's my number 2.
Is it? It's not your number 1? I thought it was your number 1.
Nope. That's my number 2.
Oh, what's your number 1 gonna be?
All right. Let me see if I can find the Velts. Why don't I see it? Should be here somewhere. There it is. Right there. I'm gonna skip to the chorus a little bit so you can hear it. Tell me why this was your number 2 track.
I just really liked everything about it, and honestly, if there were no vocals, it would have been number 1 for me. Not that I don't like the vocals, I just think they kind of just take away from the track, honestly, just because I don't think it needs vocals at all. That being said, I just think it just kind of hit with me when I listened to it. I was like, damn, this sounds really good. Okay. It's got a nice melody throughout. It's got just a good beat too. It's just, I could see myself listening to this, I kind of just tried to base it on that, like how much of a re-listen I would give it.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is pretty high for me, obviously, so.
Yeah, Mark, this was my number 2. You know what the song's talking about?
No.
All right.
Well, I think isn't Welt the like German word for world or something?
Yeah, it's something to do with a like an African.
Yeah, like a plane or something.
Yes, it has like lions on it and stuff like that. But do you know what this
So
song is talking about specifically? That has a total specific meaning, actually.
no, I have no idea.
When you know that and then you listen to the lyrics, to me, I would normally agree with you, but to me, the words and the melody actually elevate the song to a higher tier for me, because this song, Mark, as you know, I like happy sounding songs with dark lyrics.
Mm-mm.
So you just happen to know that. This is one of them. So there's a short story called "The World That the Children Made," and
Mhm.
I think it was later retitled "The Veldt" or something like that. And it was actually written in the 1950s. And this person, whoever wrote this, and I'll try to get the real author in the description to give him credit for this. But
Ray Bradbury.
yes, the story basically is about a future where children are raised in a nursery by computers, and essentially they're living in a simulation, kind of like you ever see Star Trek and the Hollow
Hmm.
world they go in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
So that's like their nursery. You know what I mean? And the children made this Welt where there's these animals and like lions, and they play with them all day. And what happens is when their parents want them to come and do things, they don't want to, and they get totally addicted to this technology. And which is happening every day now.
I was gonna say it doesn't sound too familiar at all, does it?
And then essentially they choose the technology over their parents. And in the story, the twist is that somehow, I don't know how it works. Technically, it's a made up story, but the lions end up eating the parents, and the kids just kind of play with it. Like they have no emotions about it whatsoever at the end. So it's like a real tale about beware of letting technology raise your kids, actually. And this was written in like 1950, which
Well,
is
to be
pretty
fair, I
insane.
mean,
Yeah,
1984 was written in like the 50s or 40s too, and that's
it's
like
true. Yeah.
coming even more and more like closely to being real than anything, honestly.
Yeah. So
Also one of my favorite books. So.
yeah, it's awesome, right? So this story, like once you know that, and if you listen to the song again, and like somebody's saying, it has the total darkness but happy song. You know what I mean? It's kind of and one more thing before we move on, Mark, is this song, the words and the melody were written by essentially a fan. So Deadmau5 put out a contest and said, "Look, I have this track. I don't have any words for it. It's called The Welt, right? I don't have a song for it. Just submit, like on Twitter back then, 2012. Give me a demo. Like submit you singing to it." And you can watch actually on YouTube. I'll put a link to that. Deadmau5's first reaction to hearing this for the first time. A fan submitted this to him, and he was like freaking out, basically, like on the thing. And he's like, "Oh my God, this is brilliant. I'll share all the money with you." And he's like going off, And
Wow.
yeah, so this was actually submitted, the vocals and everything, by a fan. Somebody, obviously, that's a singer too, but a fan of Deadmau5. So yeah, so that's
Well,
how this, yeah.
That's pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah, so that's how this song was made, basically. But
Wow.
yeah,
I did not know that, obviously. I would have
yeah.
probably would have changed my mind a little bit.
That's okay. That's okay. But hey, we want honest reviews here. You know what I mean? So all right, Mark, why don't you give me your number one?
Okay. My number one is Bridged by a Light Wave.
I didn't even have that on my list. Holy crap. Look at that. That's pretty wild. All right, so I'm going to play it. Let's give it a little bit.
Changing spaces, dance the night in altered places. Oceans of blank space, high on a bridged by light wave.
what's funny, Mark? You know what's really funny about this is all the songs that are like in my top 10 are songs I've heard a billion times, right, for years. This song was new to me, and I didn't put it in my top 10. But the more I listen to it, the more I'm like, oh, this song's really good.
Yeah, I know.
It's funny. If I listen to it more, it probably might make it. So, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you why this is so high for me.
Yeah, sure.
So, we talked about electronic music before, and like in like the advent of the 2010s, there was this movement called synthwave, which brought back the sounds of like the 80s with like movie scores and just like pop music from the 80s and like the huge electro wave that was like around then. And it brought it back and it celebrated it with like a new genre called synthwave. And this song like clearly has like inspiration from that. And while like the movement was the biggest in like the early 2010s, this song really captures the spirit of that movement a lot with like the music. And it was also really made big with like, you ever seen the movie Drive?
Yes. Yep.
So the soundtrack for that film is like very, very good. And then most famously, Stranger Things is what made it like kind of over the edge,
Right.
which made it so big. But yeah, like the stuff that it takes inspiration from, like John Carpenter movie soundtracks, like a lot of other like soundtracks, like I talked about, like with Blade Runner, this band called Tangerine Dream from the 70s, which is like one of my favorite bands of all time.
Okay.
It just kind of culminates in this movement, which I just was obsessed with for so long. And this, as soon as I heard this track, I was like, this is just like absolute synthwave, like, and it's just so good. And there's actually, I don't know if you know, but this is the radio edit. There's like an 8-minute version of it, which I actually listened to.
Okay.
And is awesome. You
Okay.
should definitely listen to it.
I will. Yeah.
So that's my reason for putting it number one.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, this is one I got to listen more, especially the 8-minute version. I'm actually not a fan of the radio edits normally.
Yeah, because they kind of just ruin the track basically.
They don't allow these tracks need time to build, when you listen to them.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah, they kind of ruin that. But anyway, yeah, Mark, awesome. Honestly, I love the fact that your number one was not even one that was in my top 10. But the more I just listened to it, I was like, man, maybe I should have listened to it more times. But, it is what it is. I'll listen to it
Yeah,
more.
exactly. It's just, you'll listen to it more.
Yeah. So, Mark, my number one is my favorite Deadmau5 song, and probably one of my favorite EDM songs, period, to be honest with you, which is on this record right here. I got it ready to go. All right. In the box set. And it is Strobe, Mark. It is Strobe. Yeah, Strobe is one of the few EDM songs that has no words that sometimes makes me emotional when I listen to it. And this is one of them. Like, I don't know what he was thinking when he wrote this, but he was thinking about something. And something fairly emotional, maybe. And I was listening to this, and now I've heard this song a million times, Mark. Like, not a million, but, a bunch of times. Sure. And I was listening to it today in preparation for this episode. And I literally 3 times got physical goosebumps 3 times in one song. Like listen to this. I was just like, man, this song is so freaking good. So for me, Strobe is just like a masterpiece of an electronic dance music song. That's my personal opinion. Yeah, so that's why I didn't talk about it earlier. So I should probably play a clip because I forgot I didn't. So it's my number one, so I should play it. Yeah. So it has a very long build. So I want to say that. But once it builds, it gets you there. And it has two like builds, actually. It has 2 different builds in the song, in like a 10-minute song. The first one is this one, where it's kind of just like setting the tone for the song. And then it has this first build, around 2 minutes. The piano comes in, but then it's all like synths. Now it's like 3 minutes before there's a beat, You know what I mean? And then he brings in the strings. Anyway, Mark. And then the first beat comes in. Now it's 3.5 minutes before there's a drum. So you don't normally hear that in a dance song. But yeah. I love how It starts off slow and then it just picks up. It's really cool. I turn it up on my earphones. And then even when he brings it in, he doesn't bring the normal kick in, a normal bass in. You'll see, and then he like layers it. Man, he was on some shit when he made this track. And then he brings it in. He knew when he made this, it was going to like be a huge dance floor hit. So then, Mark, it just builds, right? And then I'm going to play the best part of the song, you know? Because it kind of deceives you. Because the drums come in for like 1 minute, but it's not even a snare. You know what I mean? It's just like a kick drum and a bass, you know? And then he drops it back out again. And it's like, what? What are you doing? And then all of a sudden... This song just like builds and it has this final crazy release. Like I'm not gonna say what it's similar to, but an adult activity. You know what I mean? And it's about this part right here. It just keeps building, and then it's like 7 minutes of a build basically to this part right here. You know what I mean? It take too long, but anyway, go listen to Mark's number one and my number one. You're gonna have a good time is what I'm saying. Even if I listen to any other song on this list, go listen to Bridge by a Light Wave and Strobe, all right? And then check out the other ones, okay? Because Mark has good taste. Who knows if I do, but if you're watching this channel, maybe you like some of my taste. Otherwise, maybe you wouldn't be still listening. But so that's my personal favorite Deadmau5 song. So there you go.
I had that as number 6. So.
There you go. So not too bad. But all right, Mark. Well, overall, I thought it was a really cool box set. And actually, your number one was a song which is much later in his career, which is
it was from 2020.
Yeah, which is pretty cool actually. Mine is more of like a classic Deadmau5 song.
Clazic.
Yeah, but and Mark, I'm going to tease this for a future episode. So I talked about BSOD, right? You ever watch the cartoon The Care Bears?
I can't say that I ever have actually.
Do you know
watched
what it is?
Yeah, of course.
It's an old school kids cartoon. There was a woman who played the voice of the Care Bears.
Okay.
And she wanted like a EDM career as like a vocalist.
Really?
So I don't know how this pairing happened, but early on in Deadmau5's career, like right before he started making it big, he did some tracks with this lady, and her name was Melly Fresh. But the thing that makes this unique is all of her songs are the most explicit, sexually explicit songs you can possibly make. They're like, it's the Care Bears. Okay.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
it's wild. For a future episode, Mark, I'm just gonna play one. Maybe I'll have to edit it, but you at least have to hear like my favorite one from those songs. But basically, I mean, the song titles are wild. The lyrics are even more wild. But there is a track called "Hey Baby" that is musically, to this day, maybe the sickest sounding song I've ever heard in a club. Like the way that song sounds, it's mixed, is so hard hitting. It's just nasty. Like when you hear that song. So that's one that I will till I die listen to "Hey Baby" by Deadmau5 and Melly Fresh. You just give me the instrumental. I don't even need the words. But when you hear the words, it's so explicit that it's almost just like, it's entertaining in its own right, is what I'm saying, actually. So it has its own form of entertainment. So, especially there's a bridge where she gets, when it like breaks down and you can hear her talking quietly, and then it gets pretty nuts. So anyway, Mark, Shout out to Melly Fresh, the Care Bears lady. So thanks, Mark, for doing this. You know, it's a fun episode. We haven't done an episode, I don't think, of this type of electronic music. So maybe first of its kind. We did Claw Von Stroke, which is not the same as Deadmau5, but it is dance music, you know. So it's maybe the second of its kind. All right, Mark. Well, any last words?
I enjoyed it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, and go check out Deadmau5. Got a lot of cool stuff. This is just a sampling. The guy has like hundreds of tracks. I mean, this is just like a sampling of his career. So if you like what you heard, I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff you might like. So, all right, well, until next. Oh, by the way, we have a free community Discord. In there, there's people. There's an electronic channel. You can come in there, post your electronic music that you like. You can share it with other people. I posted some stuff in there earlier about this episode, and people are already listening to stuff in there. So, and you can talk about any music you want. It's all free. It's like a music club. You could join it, and you'll see a lot of cool stuff in there. If you like this episode, give us a like. We'd appreciate it. Comment as well. And about 5% of our viewers are subscribed, so we would love it if you subscribe. If you like the idea of like a big music club where we talk about all kinds of music and review stuff and react to stuff. So, yeah, so that's it, Mark. Well, until next time. See you later.
Signing off.